Nothing in this recording is intended as investment advice, and the people in this recording may hold positions in the companies they talk about. Do not make any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to Zak's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by Ian McElroy, who is founder and CEO at Tier 1 Capital. How are you today, Ian?
Hi, Zach. Yes, I'm well. Very kind of you to bring me along to the show. Thank you.
All right. The first question relates to the Northern Powerhouse. How's that going? Was it just a gimmick or is it actually growing and thriving?
Very fair question, Zach, but it's something that I think is largely focused within the public realm and the public sector. I think it's linked into that political space. So we're very much focused on the private sector and working through accessing the opportunities in the northeast through private investment in a listed vehicle. So I think we'll leave that with the wider market to comment on.
Right. Okay. That was sort of the answer I was expecting. So private sector, we've got a Labour government which doesn't seem to be very keen on the private sector. How are you sort of sidestepping the issues that the private sector has at the moment? Because I presume there are one or two issues around.
Well, they are, but I think we go back to basics here. And you've got to think about the private sector as in the amount of investment. If we focus on the UK to begin with, and we'll come back to the wider market, but if we focus on the UK to begin with, there is a huge amount of retail investment already in place. And what we're focusing on is very much looking at reallocating and redirecting some of that existing investment into the opportunities in the northeast. And I think what we have in the northeast, Zach, is we have a huge investment opportunity which has come to the forefront of a lot of people's minds recently because of two main reasons, one of which is the recent devolution deal. So we now have a couple of mayors in the northeast region who have devolved powers from the government. So that gives us a little bit of regional insulation from wider political decisions. And we also have a football club in Newcastle that's owned by the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Saudi Arabia. So those two things have put a big spotlight on the region from an investment and an inward investment point of view. And what we have is we have an investment vehicle that now provides investors with access to those opportunities in the northeast. And that's where a reallocation of funds from other areas that are maybe a little bit frothy, a little bit toppy in the UK and the northeast, but also we're looking overseas. There's a lot of overseas investors looking at the northeast now because of what's happened with the political situation up here and more discretion because of those devolved decision-making options in the region and the football club. So we're feeling relatively insulated from wider political decisions, but we're also focusing on investment opportunities that are here and now, and the funds behind, which will give access right from the likes of you and I with our ISAs and pensions, all the way through to the institutions. So I think we're in a good space.
Well, obviously the Saudis are not risk averse if they're investing in Newcastle United, but that's probably a separate conversation for another time.
Newcastle United, the Carabao Cup winners, Newcastle United, absolutely.
Well, that's all right, I suppose. Okay, so I was just interested as well. I mean, apart from football, are there any special sectors that that are hot at the moment? Because maybe it's AI, or maybe it's data centers, or maybe I mean, is there anything which sort of sticks in your mind as what people are really, what's exciting, what's growing in your sphere?
There are absolutely, and in fairness, there are two or three big sector opportunities. One of which we are looking to capitalise on because of our track record and expertise, which is in the real estate space. And the other one is in the sort of the net zero and the technology and the AI, which is very much the high growth equity type of sector players. And part of that is our geography. We're very close to the East Coast up in the northeast. And that means we can get access to a lot of energy and a lot of resource, which you absolutely need in certain technologies. But it's real estate and the opportunities in real estate we're focusing on. We have a very strong track record in the real estate lending space. And there's a lot of opportunity there, Zach, because it is an underserved region by the more traditional finance providers. And in the commercial and residential property space, there is a big opportunity as well. If you look at the commercial space, because we are up in the northeast, the larger funds tend to be starting to move out of the region, and there's quite a lot of opportunity created on the back of that. And in the residential space, we are focusing largely on supported housing, and there's a demand across the whole of the UK, but certainly in the northeast for supported housing. It's a very fragmented market up here, and there's a huge opportunity to professionalise the ownership model for supported housing. So there's a couple of sectors there, and one of which we are very much embedded within.
Right, I suppose I'm trying to guess where your accent originates, but I presume you have some reasonable local knowledge.
Yes, I am. I am from the northeast, and the majority of the team are from the northeast as well. That said, we have spent a lot of time working around the UK and overseas. I've spent a lot of time in London in my background in the banking world, and some of the other guys through the real estate have been down in London and in the northwest. So the boots on the ground bit, that local expertise, the relationships is very key to maximising the opportunities up here. But we also have an international feel to the firm as well, Zach. Our deputy chair, Samir Al Ansari, he joined us around about 3 or 4 months ago in May, and he's come on board to help spread the news of or the awareness of the investment opportunity in the northeast across into the Middle East. And Samir, he was for a long time he was the chairman and the chief exec of the Dubai Banking Group and Dubai International Capital, the sovereign wealth fund in Dubai. So we've got a real international feel at a board level, and at a practitioner level, we've got boots on the ground in the region, which is very, very important.
So that implies that you've got, let's say there's great ideas, great prospects, great opportunities. Maybe in the old days, there wasn't the money to actually get these things over the line. Now you actually do have firepower, financial firepower, serious firepower to actually make things happen and get things done.
Yes, I think that's fair. But I also think in some respects, Zach, the money's always been there. There's over £60 billion of private investor money in the northeast. But one of the challenges is all of that leaves the northeast and gets invested everywhere else in the world. What we've never had in the northeast is an investment vehicle that can provide investors with access to those opportunities. And that is exactly what Develop North is doing. As a main market listed company, it's accessible by everyone. And I think we're looking to redirect some of the cash that's always been here back into this region, and to give an opportunity to those people around the UK and around the world who are interested either just in very strong investment returns, which is what we're looking at, or have a bit of an emotional attachment back to the northeast to invest in this region. And it's almost positioned as the northwest was about 20 years ago. There's a lot of similarities with what happened in the northwest with the devolved government and the acquisition of one of the big football clubs there. That we've seen a huge boom in the northwest for the last 20 years. Well, this is almost where we are in the northeast at the beginning of that journey. So the money is there certainly in the UK and overseas. We've got access to, in fairness, new money, as you've touched on, because of the international awareness of the region now through both the acquisition of the football club, but also with the additions to our team who are very well known out in that region. So there is a lot of money, and we're hoping to be able to capture some of that if we embark on a fundraise shortly.
Right, and just you obviously we mentioned Develop North. How close is that relationship, and maybe where do you expect that to go as well?
Well, Develop North is the PLC. It's the main market London listed company that Tier 1 Capital advise. Develop North, and I'm a non-exec director on that business. And at a Develop North level, we are looking to change the investment strategy. We're looking to widen the scope of investment for Develop North, and that will allow more people, more investors to get access to a wider range of opportunities in the region. So the investment policy is looking to be widened. And as part of that, we are considering a new fundraise to increase the size of Develop North. And thereafter, I think we're looking to grow Develop North into a large listed investment company that provides access to opportunities for people to invest their money in the northeast of England. Like I say, there is no other investment vehicle that is doing that at the moment, and Develop North is going to capitalise on that.
Well, we look forward to all of that. In the meantime, Ian McElroy, CEO at Tier 1 Capital, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Zach. Lovely to chat.